Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we are going to talk about Section 8 housing. Okay, so these are the Section 8 houses. These are how they looks for those who don't live in America or for those who haven't traveled to America. This is an aerial view of Section 8 housing. Right? Is typically call it slum, quote unquote, but it's slum in America. Okay. Would you like to be live in slum in Africa, or would you like to choose to live in slum in America? Let me know your thoughts down below. But anyways, this is Section 8, and it has caught my attention that Trump administration, they want to get rid of Section 8 housing budget. They want to get rid basically of these houses, so to speak, right? Which is very, very crazy. And here we have people who lived in these houses. The famous people who lived in Section 8. Section 8 housing typically refers to Section 8 housing choice voucher program, which provide rental assistance to low income household. Okay, to low income household. Okay, low income household, which in content provide does not directly mean any famous person who were raised in Section 8 housing, but basically, we have the chairman of Starbucks grew in Section 8 housing. We have the former Massachusetts governor grew in Section 8 housing. You have Gregory, right? Congressman, another congressman, former New York congressman. We have first U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, okay, Tom Ridge, Walter Williams, right? Walter Williams. We have Mary Wilson. Okay, we have Goldenberg. We have Erickson right there. He grew up in Section 8 housing. We also have Holtenbergs as well, who grew up in this Section 8 housing, basically rental assistant housing in America, so to speak. All right. You have Golden Man Sachs, CEO, right? And chairman grew up in Brooklyn public housing, so to speak. Also, we can call them public housing, so to speak, right? And then right here, this is the history, right, of this Section 8 housing, right? And the Department of Housing and Urban Development oversees the program of Section 8 housing, right? And it was based on the Housing Act of 1937. Many long time ago, rental housing assistance to low income household in the USA, right? But check this out. Based on family gross income and family size, participants are expected to allocate 30% of their monthly adjustment gross income toward rental and utility, while remaining amount, right, is paid directly to the landlord. The program assists approximately, check this out, 2.3 million Americans, or 5.2 million households receive rental assistance in the U.S. by the U.S. government, which equivalent to 66% of the assistance benefiting senior people, people in family with children, and individuals with disabilities. Okay, Section 8 housing voucher is going to be used for various type of housing, including apartment. Watch this: apartment, condos, or condominiums, single-family homes, and duplex. The housing met the housing quality standards outlined by the housing, right? Outlined by what? HUD, right? Basically, the Department of Housing and Urban Development. So HUD. Check this out. But there is this um, rumor, or I don't know if it's maybe true or potential news coming, that Trump and the White House, they want to eliminate Section 9 housing, right? We don't know the reason. The plan was also cap rental aid for able-bodied adults 2 years. Check this out. Trump and the White House request the U.S. Department of HUD housing and urban development to cut, right, block some of it, to replace them, block, grant, right, whatever. But is it really necessary? Can Trump really do this? Right? I mean, is Trump really doing the right move, so to speak, or is it, or do they want America, or rather, do they want America without black people, or do they want America without any someone who is poor? I mean, whatever Trump is doing out there with the housing market, with the tariffs, I mean, it's just too crazy, bro. I mean, how can you like block and cut or terminate about a scheme or a program, government program that benefits, right, 2 million people, 2 million people, even 4 or even 5 million households that benefit out of this housing market? I mean, is it really necessary? Can Trump really cut this? I mean, okay, federal housing programs help with the level of homelessness, with the level of homelessness that America has. When they cut off this housing rental assistance, so to speak, how many more people, how many more Americans will be homeless? All right, look at this. The plan released last week would dramatically shrink the federal rental aid that helps keep people housed, including thousands of Utah households. The president proposed budget calls for 300, sorry, $36.6 billion in cash from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. I mean, crazy. I mean, how many people will be homeless? That's the question, bro. How many people will be homeless? This is from the lake, from the Soul Lake, right? .com. How many more people will Trump Trump really managed like this. White House proposes the elimination of Section 8 housing vouchers. Basically, they don't want to give rental aid anymore. But how many people will be homeless with the current level of economy in America? That people are in a situation whereby they live paycheck to paycheck, where people buy sometimes they cannot even. We seen prices of food leveling up. I mean, we see crazy food prices. Okay, that I mean, with the current level of housing problem, with the current level of homeless situation, I mean, this will just make situation more worse. Just more make situation more worse. I mean, how many people will be homeless? How many people will be suffering? My heart goes to all these people who receive this aid. Man, I pray that all of you may own a home one day. So with that being said, peace and love be all Americans all over the world. Let's go. See you out.